What's up, guys? This is Cody Montgomery, Team Blackstone Labs, coming at you guys. I'm doing a Q&A today. This is actually from my Instagram. I posted on my story yesterday that I was going to be doing a Q&A today, so I've got a bunch of questions to answer, and I'm not going to answer all of them. So for you guys that are watching this that submitted your answer on my Instagram, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. I got a overwhelming response, so I'm not going to answer all of them, as that would take way too long. But I am going to answer. I'm going to go through this and kind of just answer a few of them as I go. Of course, some of them are asking the same thing, or maybe asking something that I've answered in a previous video, or maybe it's just like my response would be a whole separate video on its own. So I'm not going to answer some of those questions. That being said, go through here and start the questions. All right, so this one is from @Dallas P. Plo, and he asked where I am originally from. I'm actually born in Anchorage, Alaska. My parents were in oil. If you watch some of the other videos from Blackstone Labs, you already know that. But yeah, I'm from Alaska, and then I actually moved to Texas early on when I was 2 years old, and pretty much consider myself a Texan. I grew up there for a majority of my life. Went to college in San Antonio. That's how I ended up moving from Dallas to San Antonio, and then of course came out to Florida 2.5, almost 3 years ago. Actually, it was probably 2 years ago for Blackstone Labs. Moved down here to Boca, and now I am living in Tampa. Next question is from Ostboy69. Are you doing supersets every training or only if you feel good? Thanks. Definitely not doing supersets every single session right now. When I start prepping, I throw in supersets a lot. It depends on the body part, but not every single workout. I'm not like a huge advocate. I know PJ has supersets or giant sets just about every single workout. Just really depends. I'm huge on supersets for certain body parts. Arms, for instance, is one that I'm a huge believer in, just because if you're training biceps and triceps, you can kind of go in between the two, and it works synergistically. You get a really ridiculous pump, and you're in and out of the gym pretty fast, so you're very efficient, which is what I like. And then also something like shoulders, or some of the body parts that you have to pound with a little bit more volume for myself personally. Something like back. Obviously, I still do supersets here and there, but I'm not doing a lot of them every single workout or anything like that, because that is a bigger body part. And I kind of will stick to more compound stuff, a little bit more rest time, since it is a bigger area. But hopefully that answers that question. The next question: how can I get calves like you? And this is from @Isaac _ and that is a good question. I actually, believe it or not, wasn't genetically gifted with the best calves. You can see my pops, my dad, and he doesn't have massive calves. You see like Flex Lewis's family and his entire family. I mean, his mom has big calves. It's genetic in that sense. In my particular instance, I just pounded the shit out of them. I was really consistent with them. That being said, of course, my calves responded pretty well. I know some people's calves are extremely, extremely stubborn. So I guess I have some genetics, maybe not Flex Lewis type. But my calves do respond to training. I just train them very frequently, 2 to 3 times a week, lots and lots of reps. I really, really focus on squeezing, focusing on form over weight, and really focusing on working a full stretch, working out of the stretch position and working a full movement, as far as, elongating the calf muscle as long as you can, and then, shortening it at the top of the motion. So I just try to pound it and do a lot of sets, a lot of reps, and squeeze. And that's another one of those body parts that I will do a lot of supersets on, because I believe that they take a lot of volume and a lot of pounding to grow and to respond. Next question is from @Jason.Kim.91. He asked, how's my family doing? My family's doing very well. My little man is growing like a weed, and everything is actually going really well. I'm back here in Tampa, of course, with my family, and of course, when I prepped this last year, I went back home and miss my son and miss my girl and just everything. So things are going much better with all of that, and actually these last few months I've been really focusing on that, and with the off season and trying to get my family life, everything great with that. So it's going very good. So thank you for asking. The next question is from CX Messmore. He asks, what's the most effective way to get rid of stubborn belly fat and lower back fat? Like a supplement suggestion is what he said. Really and truly, if you're trying to turn trying to turn fat into muscle, which is what you're trying to do, there obviously you should be training, and you should be dieting, and you should be drinking your fluids and getting your rest and everything like that. But on top of that, if you wanted to take a supplement, one I would recommend from Blackstone Labs, of course. Actually, there's multiple ones that I would recommend, but the one that comes to my head right off the bat would be Recomp RX. That's a great product if you are at a point where it's like, you're training hard, you're eating right, and you just feel like you still got a little bit of fat on, you know what I mean? And you're trying to get to that point maybe where you feel like you can take your shirt off and have a six-pack and still be in the off season. Recomp RX is really a great product to help recompose your body, and taking that body fat out of the equation is awesome. So check out Recomp RX. Of course, if you do want to order any of the Blackstone Labs products, I'd really appreciate you guys using my discount code. It's just my name, Cody Montgomery. And then you guys get hooked up with 20% off, or even more if we're having a sale. So check out and stay tuned for all of that. The next question is, hey, it's Brother Dave. What is your current training split? My current training split right now, obviously I'm in an off-season phase, but I'm not really actually pushing my body to an off-season weight limit or anything right now. That being said, I'm still training, and I'm still doing things to try to build muscle. I'm just not, taking the supplements and really pushing the diet and the protein high right now, just to give my body a little bit of a break. But right now I am doing a pretty basic split. I have a lot of my clients actually on this split. I really like it for someone that's in my kind of position. Maybe you get out of the gym for a little bit and you have muscle memory, of course, is going to kick in. So you want to, in my opinion, hit a lot of body parts right away and get optimal rest. So right now I'm training legs on day 1. Day 2 is going to be chest, triceps, and calves. Day 3 is going to be back, bicep, and abs. And then day 4 is another leg workout, just kind of like a hamstring kind of pump workout. We actually just filmed one for Blackstone Labs, so stay tuned for the pump workout version. So that's day 4. Then day 5, we would move into shoulders with a touch of chest, and calves again there. And then day 6 is going to be arms, abs, and then a little bit of like conditioning and cardio on that day, because of course I'm off season, I'm not doing any ton of cardio right now. And then of course I take a rest day, maybe even 2 days, and then I'll go back into that split. So that's pretty much my split. The theory behind it is, I'm trying to move blood, I'm trying to get my muscles pumped back up full of glycogen. So the more consistent and the more often I can hit a body part is what I'm basically trying to do with that split right there, focusing on arms and, a little bit extra chest on shoulder day. So that's my current split right now. The next question is from Johnny Mapstun. He asked if I will be coming to Body Power in the UK next year. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be. At least at this point, I haven't had any word that I will be going over there. I know that I get asked every year if I'm going to Body Power, and I always tell them the same thing. Next year, hopefully. I want to get over there one of these years. I want to get more, of course, outside the U.S. I know bodybuilding is huge. In other places, everywhere that I've traveled outside the U.S., bodybuilding is huge and very well represented. So always, it's goals to get across and, see all the different, consumers of the American bodybuilding scene. So I appreciate all you guys that follow from the UK and really anywhere overseas for that matter. So God bless you all and thank you. Next question is from Eric's Planet, and he asked me what my favorite complex carb is. I don't really have a favorite complex carb, but I guess when I think of it, probably just like oatmeal. It's pretty easy. You can have it in a shake or you could eat it. And during a diet, I don't really like oats in the off season, to be honest. I usually put it in a shake, but during a diet, that shit tastes pretty damn good when you're hungry. So, and you can make it fluff up and all kinds of stuff. The next one that I'm going to pick is from at Joshua_Lupo. And it is, he asked if are you now in Florida full time? Yes, I am. Of course, people saw that I was back in San Antonio prepping this last year. But yeah, I live out here in Florida, and my whole family's still in Texas. Well, most of my family, my brother lives in Boston. So I do go back to Texas often, and I have a lot of roots there. But my family, my son, my girl is all out here in Florida. All right, the next question is really, I shouldn't really say it's specifically from anyone, but from @Spencer Aesthetics. He asked, what's next for Cody competing in 2019? So the plan is, of course, to go back to the Open. If you haven't heard, then now you're hearing. I did 212 this year, 2018, when we're filming this video. And I did 2 shows. I did the Toronto Pro and I did the Dallas Europa in the 212 class. This year, of course, I turned pro at USA's back in 2015. Then I did the Arnold Classics in Australia and in America in 2016, and I was in the Open class. And then I decided that I was going to maybe do Classic and just a whole lot of shit. So fast forward to going into 2019, I'm kind of back to where I was a few years ago, as far as, I want to take my time with this, and I want to, obviously be the best bodybuilder that I can be, and that's not in the 212 class, just because I saw how hard it was for me to make weight, and I really can't put on muscle. I can't progress. Obviously you see, people see me now and they're like, wow, you got a lot smaller, and I'm like, yeah, I had to make that weight class. Now I'm just kind of, chilling out before I push myself for 2019. But the plan is to get on stage, probably around the same time as I did this past year. I really do like the summertime to compete, just as far as life and holidays and all that stuff goes. I can kind of, enjoy, the winter time and the holidays with the family. And then, come around January, I get real serious, and hopefully, I'll be ready by June, July, or August to get on stage and beat my best look, which is my goal, which I didn't beat in 2018. Obviously, in the 212 class, it was extremely hard to make that weight, so I sacrificed my look, and I was happy with how I looked. Don't get me wrong, but was that the best Cody Montgomery you guys have seen? No. And that's obviously what I want for 2019. The next question is from Axel_Boston. This is actually a good question because I have a lot of young guys that follow me, and of course, as you're young and you start to mature, you start to realize that life starts happening. This question, he asked, what was your first job to earn money? Before you were a full-time bodybuilder. So I'm unique, I guess, because I started bodybuilding so young. I started bodybuilding when I was a freshman in high school, and I still remember, going to, the grocery store with my mom and her helping me get some chicken and beef at, Walmart or whatever, and, the good days. And then, of course, I went on to college and I moved out, and, during all of this, between my freshman year and my freshman year in college, I had done probably 4 or 5 shows as an amateur. 2 of those up to that point had been national titles that I'd won. So, once I had already had the first title under my belt, that's when I started kind of, making money, I guess you could say, from bodybuilding. I had some contracts at the time. And, I was, at that time, I just turned 18. I was, 17 when I won my first teenage nationals. And I remember I turned 18 the next month, and I already, had some stuff on my desk, as soon as I was ready to turn 18, because of course back then you had to be 18 to, sign with any kind of supplement company or anything in this industry for that matter, because I signed with Muscular Development at that time as well. And so yeah, I was 18 basically when I started making. I mean, it was, pennies, but it was a little bit, and that kind of funded, I guess, bodybuilding through, once I went off to college. Because of course, once I was off to college, it wasn't, hey mom, can I go to Walmart with you? It was, hey, I got to go buy my own food. I got to pay for gas. I got to pay for insurance. It was, life started happening at that point. So that's when I really buckled down and I really focused on bodybuilding, and it just kind of took off at the right time. I've talked about it previously in other videos, but there's been times that I've almost, had to walk away from bodybuilding just financially, to, pursue other things, because, I don't want, my quality of life or my families to be affected, by, because this is a very selfish sport. So I've always been very real with it. And I take it for what it is, but I've been very, very fortunate these last few years to be doing this full time. And to be honest, I've worked here and there, but, I've really relied on bodybuilding, mostly, my entire life, as far as, being an adult in my adult life, I guess. Some of these questions, are funny. I'm just reading through them. Anthony Chad Perez, thank you, brother. He asked, no question, just killing it with the beard. So we got No Shave November going on here. Let me know what you guys think. Should it be shaved off, like some people are telling me, or should I grow this thing out and try to be like Seth Feroci? I'm just kidding. I'll try to go through and pick 3 more. I promise that if I didn't get your answer this time, I'll be doing these again in the future. So, make sure to go follow me on Instagram if you don't already. It's at Cody_Montgomery. I have a Twitter as well. I don't really use it, but if you want to follow me over there. And then, of course, I have a Snapchat, which is at Cody midscore, like a dash, Montgomery. And I post a lot of workouts on there, but I also do Q&As. So if you guys want to get some questions in next time, each here and there, I'll be doing these. So stay on the lookout. So I'm going to pick 3 more. And if I don't get to your question, I apologize. But we are, of course, limited on time. I don't think anybody wants to watch no 3-hour long YouTube video. But if you do, maybe I'll have a Twitch or something so you guys can go follow me over there if you guys are really interested in seeing me that much. Here is a good question from Johnny_Bravo_FTW. Almost positive I went to school with this guy in high school. I can see like the little picture from the question on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure this is his profile. So if it is, what's up, Johnny? He asked, how do you compare living in Texas versus Florida, the pros and the cons? And, I'm pretty, I don't know, actually, I'm not that blunt, but I would say Florida is hot. It's very, very hot. There's not seasons. Texas has a little bit more seasons. Texas is hot too, don't get me wrong. So I'm always around the heat, but it's nice out here. Definitely a little bit different from Texas because we got the snowbirds out here. So a couple months out of the year, traffic goes way up and it's just popping. Like right now, actually, it's starting to become very much more popular down here. But for the most part, it's pretty chill. I like Florida. I like there's a lot of good gyms around here. But you can't beat Texas. I miss Texas, and there's a lot of great things about Texas that aren't here in Florida. So I'm probably will say that if I had to pick, of course, I'm a Texan at heart, man. And once you're in Texas, I don't think you ever that never leaves you. So, but I'm enjoying it out here in Florida. So the next question, we got 2 more. This is actually a good one because this relates to Blackstone. At Ari_Hurst89. Sorry if I definitely butchered that, but he asked if I'm excited to come out to Arlington, VA in December, and I absolutely am. I was out there in Virginia Beach, Virginia, a couple months ago with our sales rep Sammy, and of course we're going to be at Nutrition Corner there in December at one of their other locations. So come by, say what's up, and I'm pumped to come back out there. I really liked Virginia, and I met a lot of there's a lot of active duty out there, and I had a pleasure to meet a lot of them, and it was a cool experience. My hotel was right there on the ocean front, and I got to see some of the ships, and it was very, very cool. So I'm excited to go back for sure. Next question, Littles 212. He asked if going to do the Arnold Classic or the Arnold Ohio this year. I actually read that and I thought he asked if I was going to be there, but I'll answer both of those. I will definitely be there. We'll be at the Blackstone Labs booth. I know we're going to be having a booth and that I will be there. So come by, say what's up, grab some supplements, get a picture. Maybe I'll kiss your baby or whatever you want me to do. But I'm probably not going to be competing. Obviously, if you watch this entire video, I mentioned earlier that I'm, resting right now, and I'm going to be really starting to hit it hard, come January, and hopefully be ready by the summertime. But of course, I wouldn't be ready in the winter. And that's a huge show, especially now that I'm going back to the open class. I want to start with realistic sights. I of course was there in 2016, and that's the best of the best. Next to Olympia. So, all those guys, are the best of the best, and really and truly, I want to be on my A game if I go back to that show, and I know I wouldn't be on my A game, come March. So, hopefully I am come July, and then 2020, it could be definitely a different story as far as that goes. So. I'm going to pick one more question. I know I said I was only going to do two more. And it's from, this is actually a very loyal follower. At Brooks Clark, his question was, how much do you personally think training in a hardcore gym really makes? And then my favorite two gyms. To answer that question, now that I've moved, I've been around, I've been at a lot of gyms. I've been at, a lot of gyms that I guess have some history here in the States. I haven't been at a lot of gyms, of course, across the world. I've never been at Dorian's gym. I've never actually been to Bev's gym in New York. I really need to get up there one of these days. But, I've been around to some of the cooler gyms, and I've been to some of the more bougie gyms, I guess you could say, down here in South Florida, or even in Texas. There's some of these facilities that just have a ridiculous amount of money behind them. And, I always gravitate towards, the hardcore kind of, not dirty, but, the real ones, that has, some metal music, some rock music playing, and doesn't, isn't going to be like you go in there to work and then people are staring at you like, some of these corporate gyms, like, what is this guy doing? He's sweating and he's grunting and he's, here to get shit done. So that's, I think it makes a huge difference. Now being out here in Florida, I don't really have an opportunity sometimes, depending on where I'm at, to go to some of these hardcore gyms. So I've had to train, at a, no disrespect, but like a Crunch Fitness or, to LA, and, it's just, you can get it done. It is what it is, but it's, when I walk into a hardcore gym, it's like, shit, I want to train, So I think it does make a world of difference, especially if you have a crew, at your gym. I was, of course, in San Antonio with the Muscle Factory. Going on to your next question, my two favorite gyms, it's definitely one that I would put in there. But, being at like somewhere like the Muscle Factory, you got like a group of guys around you and gals, that are all very like-minded and are there to do one job, and that's to, kick some ass in the gym with the weights, and not really be there to BS and all that. So I think it makes a world of a difference. And if you guys aren't training at a corporate gym, maybe go pay your local little hardcore gym a visit if you're lucky enough to have one around. And if you aren't, then garage is a good place to start. So, and then going on to the final question from him, the two favorite gyms, like I already mentioned, Muscle Factory would definitely be on there. That's where I, trained to turn pro. I actually trained there for Collegiate Nationals. I trained there for, my pro debut. So with Roland there and Marissa and, all the folks there, just the gym itself. And then you got the crew behind it. There's nothing like it. So if you guys are ever in the San Antonio area, go pay my boy Roland a visit, say what's up, and get a workout in at the Muscle Factory. To answer the other question, I don't really have another favorite gym. I guess honestly, probably the gym that we trained at today here in West Palm is up there. It just, it varies on the equipment and it varies on, what I'm training that day and stuff. But West Palm Busybody is a pretty badass gym. I don't really like all the bougie stuff. I don't like, super nice. I like to walk in and feel like I can get some shit done, and of course we got MI40 there in Tampa, which is, an amazing gym. So I'd actually probably put that in my top 2 with Muscle Factory overall. Just, the equipment and the atmosphere, and it's very bodybuilding specific there. So there's not a lot of gyms that are like it. Actually, there's not a single gym in the U.S. That's like MI40. So if you guys have the opportunity, definitely get over there and check it out. But so that's going to wrap up this Q&A. I guess you can say this month's Q&A. Depending on how you guys like it, I might end up doing one of these, maybe once a month, maybe every other month. Let me know, what do you guys want to see? And I really do appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Of course, Blackstone Labs YouTube channel. And we'll be coming out with lots more videos and lots more content for you guys. So hope you guys, enjoyed this. And for all those people that, responded on my Instagram or my Snapchat that I didn't get to, I apologize. But like I said, I'll be doing these in the future. So ask away next time, and maybe I'll answer yours. So I appreciate everybody's support. And until next video, God bless.